I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast.
Hello, today I want to talk about cell phones and should your child have a cell phone? I think that many parents are unsure as to whether their child's too young to have a cell phone, and even kids in grade school now have them. For example, I was in the grocery store today and there was these three kids running up and down the aisle, and I was looking at them and they were just having a good time. And I said, "Wow, you guys look like you're having fun." And they're like, "Yeah." And I go, "Do you like grocery shopping?" And they're like, "No." And then all of a sudden I hear the phone ring. And the middle one sticks his hand in his pocket, and I'm like, "You have a cell phone?" And he looks at me and he nods. And I said, "How old are you?" And he said, 8. And I was like, "Wow." And he answered the phone, "Hello," and he walked off. And I looked at his bigger brother and I just was like, "Are you kidding me?" And he just kind of laughed and walked off. And I was just thinking about how parents have to face now, when is their child capable and old enough to have a cell phone? When the cell phones came out, my kids were already older, so I think my son got his first cell phone when he was about 13. And he really did have a challenging time in that he would forget that it was in his pocket, and one time he jumped in the ocean with it, and another time he jumped in a pool with it. So he had a few incidents where he lost his cell phone and had to pay to get another one. And after a couple of those, he realized he'd better be responsible or he's going to have to cough up some dough. And I think that's one important thing, is that if your child is having trouble being responsible for the phone, that you make sure that they're the ones who have to repair their mistakes. So they need to work to earn that money to pay for the replacement. They need to work or pay off or somehow make up for if they've made a mistake in that. And the other thing that you want to look at is how is it helping your life? How is it making your life better if they have a cell phone? If it's making it so that it's easy for you to pick them up, to know where they are, to connect with them, by all means, go ahead and give them a cell phone. And the other thing is, are they being responsible in their life with it? For example, if it's at school, are they following the rules? If your child's getting in trouble by the teacher because they're texting or using the phone inappropriately, you would want to look at having consequences for that. Other than that, I think it's really an individual parent's decision as to whether or not your child should have a phone and when. That it's become such a part of our life these days that having a cell phone as a second grader may not be so off base. So I hope this has helped you think about, when is it going to be time for your child to have a cell phone? And don't give in to peer pressure. Make sure you do what's appropriate for you, your family, your child, your environment. Doesn't matter what the neighbors do. Thanks, and have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.